Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is the next chapter of Serendipity, chapter 67, and this one has a wonderful title. It's titled Case Closed. Deku is pacing back and forth, muttering things to himself while looking very worried as the policeman briefed you on the things that you could and couldn't say to Philip. The more they explained the severity of the situation, the more your guts started to knit themselves together a little. Code word is "aw shucks," the policeman, who was putting the hidden microphone on you, said. You never know what he might do to you if he thinks you're onto him and wants a quick way out. You glanced at Deku, who was still listening in from the sidelines and had a very serious look on his face. Okay, you said in a small voice, looking back at the policeman. Once everything was set, the police left, taking Deku with them. Yin, he said as he reached out and grabbed your arm, his serious and worried eyes meeting yours. I won't be far away, he said softly. I'll be here in a second if I feel like Philip is up to no good. You nodded, trying not to let the concern show on your face. The kiss that followed sealed your love for each other, ending with the security and reassurance that Deku would be there for you in your time of need. With one last lingering handhold, Deku left with the police, and you waited in the quiet room until you heard a voice in your earpiece. Can you hear me? The policeman asked. Yeah, you breathed. Okay, good. When you're ready. You took a few deep breaths in and reached for the phone on the stand, dialing the reception area and waiting for the receptionist to pick up. She did, and you plastered a giant grin on your face as you spoke. Hello, this is Mrs. Midoriya. I was wondering if I might be able to have a word with Philip Mistrust. Oh, yes, of course, the lady said. He's right here. I'll put him on. There was an exchange and Philip's voice came down the line. Yes, Mrs. Midoriya? He asked. Hi, Philip. Listen, I need to talk to you. My husband's gone out and I need to speak with you alone, if possible. It's in regards to Maya. There was a pause and then he spoke again. Yes, of course. I'll be right up. You hung up and waited nervously for him to arrive and nearly jumped out of your skin when he knocked on the door a few minutes later. Hi, you said with a small smile as you opened the door to him. He nodded and glanced past you into the empty room. Come in, you offered, breathing slowly to calm your racing heart. He stepped in and looked around suspiciously. What is it you need to talk to me about? He asked, watching you cautiously. Well, I need you to help me, you said. With? With some things that aren't holding up, you added softly. Regarding? He asked dubiously. Listen, you said, letting your whole body relax. My husband thinks you're innocent, but Philip stiffened. I heard a scream that night, you said, watching his face. Yes, we already spoke about the people who she was dealing with coming to get her, Philip replied sharply. But you said it was an accident, then a suicide, now murder? Why do you keep changing? You asked innocently. Well, it could have been any of them. How would I know? I left the party already, he replied tersely. Are you saying you suspect me of killing my own girlfriend? I'm just saying everything fits, he replied. And then, when I went to the guard's office... And so you think I killed the guard too? This is preposterous, he spluttered. What possible reason could I have for killing him? Well, what if he knew something about you that he shouldn't have? You offered. Philip's eyes widened. He told you, didn't he? He whispered. Well, you hummed, bluffing your way through this next part. The guards do see a lot, and I'm the wife of a hero, so of course they'd come clean. Philip paled. She threatened to tell I... Yes, you pressed, feeling like you were on the verge of a confession. Philip's very distraught look slowly faded, and an eerie, calm look covered his face in its place. She threatened to tell. What was I supposed to do? So you killed her? With a block of ice, so that no one would be able to find the weapon? Yes, Philip replied calmly. Why are you telling me this, you asked. You've just confessed to murdering your girlfriend, Maya, and the guard, Greg. Yes, I have, he replied darkly, a sinister smile pulling at his lips. Because you're not going to be around for much longer either. Oh, shucks, you yelled, stepping back away from him quickly. Before Philip could even breathe out, Deku had him pinned to the back wall, sharp green lightning jumping around him and filling the air with static electricity. "You won't lay a finger on her," he growled menacingly, his scarred hand around Philip's throat as he held him in place. It was another 3 minutes before backup arrived, and they barreled into the room, huffing and puffing. "Nobody move!" they panted, pointing their guns around. "Philip, you're under the arrest for the murder of Maya and Greg. Anything you say now can be used as evidence against you in the court of law. You have the right to a lawyer," and their voices carried on, becoming a distant, muffled blur as the adrenaline in your system shut you down. With rolling eyes, you dropped to the ground and passed out, your body being caught by your hero husband, who jumped to save you as soon as the police had cuffed Philip. The rest was a muddled, foggy dream. You vaguely remember hearing voices and feeling Deku's strong arms around you, and then you woke in the hospital, where they'd taken you for assessment. "Baby," you croaked to Deku, who was sitting beside your hospital bed. "Yin," he whispered with loving worry. "Are you okay? You scared me." "I feel fine," you whispered. "Did they get him? Is it all over?" "It's all finished, baby. You did so well," Deku said as he leaned across the rails to hug you. "Thanks to your evidence, Philip is being tried for a double homicide and will be behind bars for a very long time. It turns out that he was embezzling money from the hotel and replacing the stolen money with counterfeit, using Maya's blood." "That's terrible," you gasped. "I'm glad he's been caught." What a satisfying chapter. Well, that ends that part, but then we move on to chapter 68, which will be coming tomorrow.